Hello and welcome to our LCAP community conversation, this month focused on the topic of student achievement. I'm Brian Lindisi, Coordinator of Assessment and Accountability for the Glendale Unified School District. Today's conversation will center around our LCAP, and we'll be reviewing our LCAP metrics related to the CASP and CAST, the state test that our students take. We'll also discuss how our assessment results match with our panorama survey, which our students take as part of our social emotional learning inventory. We'll discuss next steps and we'll provide an opportunity for you to share your feedback. The LCAP is our 3-year plan. It's our strategic plan that outlines the goals, actions, and expenditures to address our state and local priorities. It's also tied to our local control funding formula, the funds and the money that funds our major programs. School districts must produce an LCAP each year to show how they're using their LCFF funds to meet the needs of all students. Our LCAP goals in Glendale are tied directly to our Board of Education priorities, and today we'll be focusing on our first priority, which is maintaining student achievement. Today's conversation is about student achievement, but we have several more coming up this year, and we hope that you'll join us. The CASP sum of assessments are our English, language arts, literacy, and mathematics tests that measure students' ability to handle the Common Core state standards in these subject areas, and it also measures their progress toward college and career readiness. The CASP assessments are administered in grades 3 through 8 and once in high school during grade 11. Each test is composed of 2 parts: the computer adaptive test, where students answer questions and the tests adjust as they are responding, and performance tasks, where students have to articulate their answers in writing. Students new to the United States within the past 12 months are exempt from taking the English language arts portion. The CAST assessment is our science assessment tied to the next generation science standards and measures content surrounding earth and space sciences, life sciences, and physical sciences. This test is taken in grades 5 and 8 and once in high school. In Glendale Unified, we choose grade 11 for this test. The CAST is a computer-based test, and it consists of standalone questions as well as 3 to 4 performance tasks, again, where students have to articulate their answers in writing. All the results for these tests are available publicly at this website. There are 4 achievement levels. In California, for our reporting purposes, the test focuses on levels 3 and 4, whether standards are met or standards exceeded. The Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium, which is the organization that provides the test, has a little bit broader definition and includes level 2 as part of its assessment of whether students are meeting or exceeding standards, but they define it in a slightly different way. SBAC looks at whether students are performing at an advanced, proficient, or foundational grade level in their knowledge and skills, and also how that increases along the way with accuracy and complexity. Both the CASP and the CASP scores are part of our California State Dashboard. Here in California, we expect the dashboard to be released later this month, and these results will be part of that set of results that's shared to show performance of schools. And all of our summative assessments over the past 3 years have used the same blueprint, so really we are comparing apples to apples, which is great news, so we can follow trends. Our past set of results here in 23-24 for GUSD in English language arts, approximately 60% of students were meeting or exceeding standards in this area. For mathematics, the students meeting or exceeding standards was about 51%. For the CAST, the science test, the percentage of students meeting or exceeding standards is approximately 42%. We're going to look at the 3-year trend over time. Part of our metrics in the LCAP is being able to report all of the data from CASP and CAST assessments, and we're expecting a 9% increase over time. For us here in Glendale, you can see that over the past 3 years, there's been relative consistency in each of the subject areas. For example, in English language arts, we hover around 61% from year to year. In math, we average around 51%, and for the CAST test, we're around 42%. So in this case, you can see the overall performance of students in these areas has remained relatively stable. For us, we also break down performance by student group. This helps us as educators identify gaps and discuss next steps in terms of interventions and our inquiry cycle plans of how to help students perform at an even higher level. When we notice gaps, we want to try to dig deeper to understand what really is going on. For us in Glendale, we noticed that the largest gap when we looked at our individual student groups compared to the all student group was with our English learners, and we'll discuss this a little bit more in depth. Before we do that, I want to show you the comparison of our district scores to those of the county and the state. When we look at English language arts across the board, you can see that Glendale Unified students outperform students in the county and across the state. But we wondered what would happen if we looked at just the students who were true English only students or had been reclassified fluent English proficient or had come into the district as initial English proficient. As you can see, the results jump significantly by almost 10 percentage points. For reference, we want to show you where our English language learners perform so that you can see that there is a gap that we are working to address. When we look at mathematics, these are the overall student results. Again, you can see Glendale Unified students outperform their peers across the county and the state. When we look at just the students who are English only or reclassified or initial fluent English proficient, the results go up, as you can see in this demonstration. Again, for reference, we've included the English learners to show how their performance overall is indicated. When we look at the science test, we want you to see this is the overall student group. Again, our Glendale Unified students are outperforming our students in the state and also in our local county. When you look at just the students who are English only or those that were reclassified or those that came in initial English fluent proficient, there is a jump in the test scores. This made us wonder. The group that we are focusing on at this time, our English learners, there's a reason why we're spending time to really dig deep. We really want to understand and support the student group. For additional context in GUSD, we have almost doubled the number of students that are new to the country and who have to test because they've been here within the last 12 months. Remember, our students who are newcomers, that's the students who are here within less than 12 months, they do not have to take the English test, but they do have to take the math and science test, which are extremely language heavy, and students have to respond in writing to articulate their thoughts. We also have long-term English learners. These are the students who, after 7 years, have not yet been reclassified. When we look at these students' test results, there were about 300 students this past year. Their results were about 4% in English, 2% in math, and 4% in science. And this is a set of students that has been a long-term group that we have to provide services for and help them get connected. And that is our true goal, to make sure that everyone has access to high-quality learning and experiences so that they can express themselves and be ready for college, career, and life. When we look at even our newcomers compared to our LTELs, the students who are here within the past 12 months even outperform some of our students who are long-term English learners. Again, we dig deep into the data because it drives our instructional practice. I also want to share with you our panorama survey results. We look at areas of growth mindset and self-efficacy. This is how students perceive their academic work. And you can see over time, the results have been pretty steady. This past fall, a new question was added, and the reason we're including this is because the panorama survey results are part of our LCAP goals, and we do want to see a percent favorable result change by 6 points over the next 3 years. This question about when students make mistakes, if they feel like they can ask their teacher for help for next time, most of our students said sometimes. When we look at this question about self-efficacy, do students feel they can do the hardest work? Again, we have kind of a bell curve in how students responded. Many chose that middle answer. When we look at this set of results, it makes us think, how do we create an environment where mistakes are possible and students can continue to learn and grow, and that they feel confident about tackling the next steps? Our CASP and CAST results have been consistent over the past 3 years. And despite the number of English learners new to the United States nearly doubling, overall performance has remained relatively stable. Our GUSD students tend to outperform students in the county and across the state. And we find that social emotional learning competencies can have an impact on academic achievement. So our next steps are to continue our focus on long-term English learners, our English learners that are here less than 12 months, and also all the other students that need intervention. Our goal is to promote classroom environments and strategies that emphasize growth mindset and self-efficacy. And we want to continue our data analysis at school sites and incorporate growth as part of our inquiry cycles. We're also working with our school teams to encourage and integration of the interim assessments. These are the SBAC practice tests that teachers and students can use, and also the universal tools. They are the embedded assessment pieces that can help a student. That might be a glossary or a highlighter. There are different tools that can help students really focus their work and really be able to produce even stronger results. We want to hear from you. We invite you to join us at gusd.net/share to share your feedback. And the question we have is, what resources have been helpful and what more can the district do to support students' academic achievement? We also want to invite you to our future community conversations. The next one that's coming is Thursday, January 23rd, where the topic is college and career success. You can learn more about our LCAP at gusd.net/LCAP. Thank you for joining us today and learning more about our student achievement results from the past school year and our plans on our LCAP going forward.